Hello, everyone. We are finally done with Act 11. Act 11 has been so damn glorious. And overall, I am very hyped for you guys to see Act 12 and 13. It was originally planned to only have 12 acts. This story was always planned to have that in mind. But Act 12 has been building up for a very different path and different ideas. And it's really hard to shove everything I need to do for the final area in a single story arc. The Shadow Garden is going to be awesome. Yes, I did mention in later chapters that I was planning to change the name of the Shadow Garden because it kept feeling lazy. Sorry, my fan turned off. That I had all these really cool names: Frostlace Mountain, Inferno Pit, and then I got to Lightning Canyon and the Lightning Ryu, Shadow Garden and the Shadow Drakon. What the hell was I thinking? I know at one early point in the season I said that the shadows were going to be the Goetia. That was always the plan from day one. That's why I named their leader Stolas, okay? Because I wanted to take what is arguably some of the best designs of dragons and apply them to My Little Pony. You guys know what I'm talking about. The feather dragons. The bird dragons. That is the Shadow Drakon. That is the Shadow Goetia in this story, okay? The Goetia Garden, whatever. That is what you guys will be seeing next act. But for now, let's go back to the previous acts and let's just digest everything that's happened, okay? Act 9, we finally arrived in the Lightning Canyon. I need to find a better name for this thing, dang it. Maybe Cloud Canyon. Or was it Cloud Ryu I originally had, not Lightning Ryu? I don't know what I was thinking. Anyway, so we arrived in the canyon. We had this whole diatribe of confronting Smolder's emotions and how much she has not healed at all from Garble's death. And then we kept having flashbacks of what happened to Garble, everything that he did, and his peculiar relationship with a dragoness named Onodari. And as soon as Act 10 ended, the bonus chapter, we revealed just how intimate he knows Onodari. And then she just vanishes from the story for the entirety of Act 11 until the final paragraph of Act 11's bonus chapter. That was on purpose, folks. Holy shit. Act 11, bonus chapter, So Drunken Insanity, has been a chapter I've been wanting to build up since the start of the story, okay? Back when I started this story, I knew I wanted to tackle a ship that I don't really care much for, to try and flex my writing muscles. And what's a ship I don't care much for at all when it comes to Spike? Spike and Smolder. I've never cared for this ship at all. I have my own problems with Spike and Amber. I have my own takes on Spike and Amber. But my preference has always been Spike and Gabby, or with a slight additive of Spike and Rarity, because I just really enjoy that episode so much. The love triangle is hilarious, and normally I hate love triangles in general. But when it comes down to it, Smolder and Spike have never been even in my top 10 ships. I almost consider Ocellus and Spike more. But of course, Ocellus and Smolder are in my top ones of that ship, those characters in general. And overall, I wanted this storyline to be about Spike confronting his dragon relations. Now, the obvious answer is, why not just pair him up with Amber? I don't really care much on that one. It's not that I hate that one. I actually like it more than Smike and... Smike. I swear, that's gotta be the actual bloody ship name, damn it. Spike and Smolder. Why do I keep saying Smike every time I'm about to say Smolder and Spike? Smolder and Spike. Probably because of that, because I keep thinking the other way around and I keep switching it randomly. Anyway, so this ship was my choice at the start of this storyline because I wanted to challenge myself. And going with Spike and Amber felt like an easy way out. Now, yes, when I originally blueprinted the trailer that inspired this fic, I was thinking Amber at first. But then as I thought of it more, like, that character doesn't really fit well in the Amber role of being a leader of her countrymen. He's more like a commander, and that better not be my roommate showing up. I am not starting this video for the 18th time in a row. I know it's very late. I really should have got this video done at noon. Anyway, so I'm all thinking, nah, Amber's not the right person for this. In Devil May Cry, Mary Lady, she usually has the role of the... Oh, blazes. She usually has the role of second in command, not leader. If anything, Trish often feels like a leader role among the women in Dante's life. That's mostly because she's a clone of his mother. The ships in that show is weird. Anyway, so I was thinking, I need someone who's not a leader, but someone who's still a badass. And then, obviously, I thought, wait, I still need them to be a dragon. That kind of eliminates my options in general, unless I suddenly want to gender swap Garble. No, I'm not doing that. Not when his sister is right there, okay? So, when I decided on Smolder being the main ship, the main girl, I'm like, okay, I now have a storyline built through, and now I have extra points that I could use to my advantage. I always wanted to explore Garble's character, but from an outsider sense of what other people think of him, and especially what Smolder thinks of him. So, this three-act structure of Act 9, 10, 11 was always in the back of my mind when writing the story of, like, I need to explore what is Spike's relationship with Garble? What is Smolder's relationship with Garble? What is Smolder's relationship to Spike with Garble in the background? Okay? Or better yet, what would happen if Garble died and then Smolder met Spike? I'm still almost tempted to say Smike. Why am I saying Smike so much? Reminds me of that one video where I just kept saying Smike throughout the whole damn freaking video. I need to make that the freaking ship name, though. Smike sounds hilarious. But you can't really say Spald. That's just Smolder with a P instead of an M. How would you say their blasted ship name? I don't know why I'm on that line of thought. Anyway, so Act 11 came around. We had this big battle between Shiva and Smolder, and it felt good to finally give Smolder something to do in the storyline. I know one of the people in the comments really wanted this idea going through the back of their minds, like, they want Smolder to do something. I think it was like Night Shroud. Yeah, Night Shroud wanted Smolder to do something. No, Rosekin Blue. Yeah, I remember I was talking to Rosekin Blue earlier. Yeah, both of them reacted to Smolder's battle with Shiva with their own little fun comments. And I think Night Shroud kind of sums up some of the points I like, and that they just simply say it's a pretty cool drama. I'll agree. Yeah, pretty good drama. And then they mentioned that it felt kind of bad that Smolder lost the fight. And I'm like, really? How's it bad that Smolder lost the fight? Or hold on, they got a thumbs down. Are they getting thumbs down because someone actually liked the fight? Like, if you like the fight, then just give a comment, dude. Don't just randomly thumbs down someone else because you hate the fight and hate their comment. Just say something. Whatever. Like, why would you thumbs that dude down? Seriously. I thumbs him up because I always like talking to people. I always like thumbs up people in my comment sections. Well, I didn't thumbs them up every time, but still. Anyway. Back to what Nightshot said. They said it was a pretty cool drama. I agree. Then we turn over to, is it Rosekin Blue? Yeah, Rosekin Blue. Oh, I know, I'm reading a different comment from that. Okay. They pointed out probably one of my favorite my favorite lines from that act. A blackened trace over her body from chest to hip. So yeah, that wound will be haunting Smolder throughout the whole story. And after another comment they made, I've pretty much settled on this idea that when I finally do the cover for this story, I'm going to make Smolder's midriff and that big ass scar a plot point in the cover, okay? I got this cool idea for the cover. I'm going to be actually ordering it in January, right? And that essentially it'll be 4 headshots and Spike in the center with Smolder, and he's going to be holding Smolder, and we're going to see the giant blackened lightning mark over her midriff. Okay? Obviously implying a lot of chaos they're dealing with, a lot of destruction they're both dealing with, the wounds that him and her both share, and the death in the background. Okay? Ah. Or I might just do Spike holding Rarity in her death, because that might just hit harder, and I might just repeat the Smolder thing for like the third story. Anyway, getting a bit sidetracked on what I was trying to say. Overall, Act 11 was very fun for the right reasons, because we got to explore Smolder as a character more and deal with the trauma of Garble. But then we ended the bonus chapter with sort of the intimacies between Spike and Smolder blooming outward, okay? Now, I originally had 2 different drafts for Act 11's bonus chapter. One was where... Now, how do I say this without spoiling? Because I'm still going to do ideas from this in later chapters. But basically, in the original draft, Spike and Smolder would have an intimate moment, and then the demonic Ebony Beast would come out to try and kill her. She would defeat the Ebony Beast and then move on, with their relationship in a more chaotic sense. But as I got to writing this chapter, I'm like, wait a minute, there's another thing I'm still leaving out, and that's an Adari. Unadari's been missing for this entire story, and then suddenly I'm like, oh, I have a much better idea, because the original blueprint was an utter mess between, oh, they bang, and next he's suddenly a giant monster. Yeah, that kind of fell apart. But this one flowed so much better. They have their intimate moment, and then Smolder leaves him to go chase after an Adari. Because it ties back into one of the ideas I was already exploring of an Adari at the time, and that also ties back into the previous bonus chapter of Garble with an Adari. And I'm not asking much from you guys, but what I would love is for you guys to go back, reread the final paragraphs of Garble's intimate moments, and then go right back to here and read the final paragraph of this one. Okay? This final paragraph directly ties into Garble's own intimate moments with an Adari. And especially that final line, Smolder chased without a single thought, never once questioning the bell supposedly hanging from the Ryu side. Or how it echoed, nearly resulting in her own demise. A violent demise came for her. Now, that strange lining, how it echoes nearly resulted in her violent demise, is actually a reference to the original draft that I had for this chapter, okay? That yes, the bell was going to activate Spike's transformation into the monster, okay? That nearly happened in this chapter. But much like me, much like me writing it, another character in the story realized a beneficial of Smolder being spared and then going after Onodari instead. And it's especially going to be noticeable in, let's see, chapter 101. Not 100, but chapter 101. We're going to go back to Smolder and Spike. And I would love for you guys to linger on what happened to Smolder during her confrontation with Onodari. What happened? And why is her face covered in dread afterward? Because we aren't going to see this battle with her and Onodari. I'm going to go ahead and just spoil that for you folks. We're not going to see what happened between her and Onodari. Because chapter 100, the legendary chapter 100, this is the first time ever I've reached chapter 100. But chapter 100 of Act 12 will be one of the biggest chapters in the entire story, not lengthwise, but plot-wise. Because I am not exploring anything from Spike, I'm not exploring anything from Twilight, I'm not exploring anything from Smolder. I am jumping back in time and making a chapter exclusively on Sin, his wives, Nidhogg, and the extra characters around during that time, including the mysterious Shadow himself. This is a chapter I've been wanting to explore for a long time, and originally it was going to be 2 parts, okay? Before I had the original blueprint of Spike fighting Smolder in the original version of the bonus chapter, this 100 was going to be part of a 2-parter, in which one part would be exploring Sin and the past, and the second part, chapter 101, would be exploring Spike before the explosion. Spike before the Ebony moment. Spike before he killed Rarity. That chapter's still going to happen, but I'm actually going to move it to the end of chapter 12, Act 12, or to the Act 13, somewhere around there. Okay. I've got a bunch of chapter list open up. It was confusing me. I'm also currently working on the bonus chapter for Act 11, right? Sorry, for Act 12. And it's quite the doozy. Overall, this story has so many more plot twists to come. And just because we're done exploring Garble, just because I revealed that we won't be getting the answers yet on what happened between Smolder and Onodari, does not mean we are done with the Lightning Canyon. We are moving onward to the Shadow Garden next chapter. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That is the plan. To go right from here into the Shadow Garden. Because the story is done in the Lightning Canyon. What everything has been revealed, not quite yet. And I'm really trying to play if this as best I can because there are so many mysteries and so many intricate pieces still in play during this act and into later acts. I'm not done exploring Garble. I'm not done exploring Shiva. I'm not done exploring Anadari. But I am done with the Lightning Canyon. Or done. Kick it off a cliff. Kick it into a canyon. And overall, I'm glad that you guys are here through most of the story. We're almost done with this series. And I will be ordering a commissioned art piece in January. That will be the cover for this story, the proper cover for this story, alongside a proper cover for the second story, probably in March, maybe in May, depending on whether or not they are dropping Devil May Cry Season 2 in April or later. I'm hoping they are not posting that damn thing in January. I am going to be so fucking pissed off if they decide to post Season 2 in January. Because, okay, I am writing chapters for Season 2. I am writing chapters for Season 2 Dragon May Cry. I am. But I am not ready for you guys suddenly to jump into Season 2 when this story ends. Because, holy shit, I need to be ready. I need to get those chapters ready. I like being ahead of you guys. And right now, outside of a few chapters, I've mostly just got outlines done for Dragon May Cry 2 just last week. Or was it the week before that? Somewhere around there. I know it was somewhere in December. This month has been utter freaking chaos, and it's preventing me from doing my other work. I've got other stories I want to get to writing, and I don't want to rush to get done just because Netflix will not slow the fuck down in airing shows. I like Devil May Cry Season 1. I want to enjoy Devil May Cry Season 2. And I want to enjoy writing Dragon May Cry Season 2 and not be rushing to get it done. Okay? But I also want to write other stuff. SLC was supposed to have its prologue story released today. That was my plan. But everything from the last 2 weeks. Holy shit. Today is Thursday. Just for those people that don't know, in case I don't actually release it today. But after Act 11, I was going to start posting chapters for my new story. And I'm not going to be able to because I'm so backed up from other shit. Okay? Heck, there was meant to be a breathing room between Act 11 and SLC for readers. Because Act 11 was supposed to end on Monday, not yesterday. I'm not mad. I'm not mad. Just, I've got so much planned for SLC's prologue. And I've also got to get a bonus chapter for WWC out today. I mean, sorry, not today, but this month. Because I've got another art piece coming for one of the Anti-6 coming sometime this month. I've already seen the cover already seen the sketch they did. It looks freaking brilliant to see another one of the Anti-6. And I have a story I want to make exclusively for that Anti-6 member because I haven't done much for that character. And it was also going to answer so much stuff like, where is the Tree of Harmony during the SWWC storyline? Where is it during the SLC? No, I know it really don't matter for the SLC storyline because Spike's traveling through universes in that one. It's hard handling multiple universes at once. Like, for instance, when I was in the threads of writing group, someone wanted me to basically include their OC in my Amber Clone series. Sorry, my Amber Clone one shot I was going to be doing. And in order to include their OC, I would need to turn that one shot into a series, its own universe. And I'm like, no, I cannot do that again. They didn't ask me. They did not ask me to make a different universe. But that thought, that possibility of building another universe with Ember at the center, even if it's for a joke comic, was beating at the back of my fucking mind. I didn't want to. And yet I did want to. I did want to build a freaking solo universe for Ember. This whole month has been chaos. More so than last month. I thought for sure with university work ending I would have a breather, but I didn't. I thought for sure I'd have SLC's prologue out today, but I didn't. Heck, I nearly didn't even post. Oh shit. Oh shit! Oh shit! Is this thing even edited? Please tell me I at least edited this chapter. Oh shit, I didn't! Holy shit! Oh, thank goodness I didn't post the unedited abomination. Okay. Where is Every Pony? Chapter 19, Dragon's Regret, was meant to come out yesterday, and I was too freaking fried to post it. Holy shit! Oh, that's hilarious. It's a good thing I didn't post it, because this is just horribly unedited. Holy shit, I'm gonna spend 20 minutes today editing this and post it. I'm gonna have to post this Monday, isn't it? Holy shit, yeah. This thing's so unedited. And this is one of the biggest chapters I've been worrying about from Where is Every Pony? Holy shit. Why is there so many big chapters happening recently? Ugh. I am just letting the stress get to me. It's fine. Finish the video we're doing now, and then edit this chapter. Speedrun edit this chapter, and maybe, just maybe, if my roommate don't freaking show up, I can post this today. Maybe. Just maybe. I can post this today. They're here, aren't they? Fuck.